Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by again on such short notice. Back with another quick edition of something we like to call IDP. This week we've got some indie rock and some dream pop, shoegaze, some jangly shoegaze even. So you're going to want to go ahead and grab yourself a cold one. And if you're hungry, you can go ahead and wrap your lips around a meat stick as long as you're here, you know. So let's go ahead and get started. First up, we've got the second full-length release from a project called the Waeve, W-A-E-V-E, which is Graham Coxon, best known as the guitarist from Blur, but also has some really outstanding solo albums, and also Rose Eleanor Dougal of the Pipettes. So second LP in 2 years. I think these two recently had a baby together. I think Elon Musk is very proud of them. So on this sophomore effort, there is a strong kind of Berlin trilogy, Bowie Eno vibe. Definitely in certain places it's very strong, but it's heard in different spots throughout the album. In other places, there's more 80s post-punk / new wave. There's industrial vibes as well, synth pop. The lyrical content seems pretty dark. Both of them share vocals. Graham, once again, plays saxophone on here. There's string arrangements. I'd say it's maybe a bit unpredictable from track to track. It can be gritty, melodic, cinematic, then switch over to something more abrasive and, synth pop, like abrasive synth pop at times as well. There's also, just as with the debut, there's a couple songs that are more almost like 70s folk rock-esque, I guess you could say. I definitely say this album has a somewhat different aesthetic overall to that first LP, but it's still pretty solid for me, I would say. The album, which I don't even think I said the name of, it's called City Lights, and the artist, the group, is called The Waeve. It's out on Transgressive. We have the fourth studio LP for a New York City trio that go by the name Weak Signal, and their new album is called Fine. On this album, they get help in the studio from Alexis Taylor of Hot Chip, Doug Shaw of Gang Gang Dance, as well as Cass McCombs. So I'd call this, indie rock with jagged, fiery riffs. Some of it is more, chiming and melodic versus others. It's a bit glam, a little bit like a bit glammy, a bit psyche. Still like melodic overall. There's, I think all the members sing. There's 2 female, 1 male, so you get kind of the contrasting vocals. I think the lyrics are pretty strong. There's some foul language, I would say, so you need to be prepared. If you're going to be singing along to this, you may wind up having to, wash your mouth out with soap. It's a tight 10-track, 35-minute album with really no clunkers. I like it. I definitely think it's worth checking out. A few of the songs are slower. It's not just like it's not just noise all the way through. Yeah, the band is called Weak Signal out of New York City. The album is called Fine, and it's on 12XU.
I wanna be a rich junkie, disappear from the earth. No one will remember me, face down in the dirt. My heart forgot how to hurt. There I go again, I'm talking to my God. I do not want what I haven't got. I've already got a lot. There's nothing I wanna be. I'll drink my wine, I'll breathe my opium, and I'll watch the setting sun.
Next up, we have the debut full-length release for artist that goes under the name 3/4 Skies. The album is called Fade In. 3/4 Skies is Simon Scott, who was and is the drummer for the band Slowdive. This is kind of arty, ambient, shoegaze / dream pop, very heavily textured. There are vocals. Most of the vocals, however, kind of operate as an instrument or just as additional layers of texture within the songs, almost like distinct instruments within the mix, almost like a restrained noise rock. Reminds me a little bit of some of the things that Flying Saucer Attack did at certain points in their career. Has a very short cover of the Nick Drake song called Horn. Includes guest vocals from Rachel Swinton. That's her name, from the Glasgow band called Cloth. That's on the track Holy Water. As you know, I'm a devout Satanist, and I really do try to stay away from holy water. I do like that song, despite that name. I think you might need to be in the right headspace to put this album on. Kind of get lost drifting away in it. I'd say certainly most people will not have the patience for this kind of an album, but I think that some folks will love it. The name of the artist, again, is 3/4 Skies, and the album is called Fade In. Next, this is a band out of Los Angeles, go by the name Dotti, and they've just released their debut full-length LP, which is called Opaque. Yeah, so I know they released like a mini LP back in 2022 called Guided Imagery, but I still think they'd probably consider this their debut full-length release. I don't know. It's a quartet, like I say, out of Los Angeles. It's melodic, jangly, shoegaze / indie pop. Does dial into early My Bloody Valentine, Jesus and Mary Chain, Chapter House, Lush, but somehow it brings its own charm to the table. It definitely does get heavy and noisy with textured guitar squalls, but still maintaining that like melodic indie pop, underneath. It does seem very comfortable shifting back and forth between kind of the wall of sound, guitar, noise, one track into, more of almost a jangle pop a noisy jangle pop song the next. Really digging this one since the day it came out. I listened to it like 4 times the day that I was able to, the first day I was able to. If you like bands like Aluminum or like Seablight that we talked about here a bunch of times, I think you definitely need to check this album out. Or if you're just into a good shoegaze record, this is worth checking out. They're named after the Italian photographer named Tina Modotti. I think that's probably how you say it. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. But yeah, anyway, Modotti is the name of the band. The album is called Opaque. And this one has earned the coveted Douche seal of approval. I did look on Bandcamp out of curiosity just before I started recording this, just to see what was available on as far as like physical copies. And the vinyl version comes out or is shipping supposedly October 1st, as is I think the CD version. I think there's a cassette that is shipping. But anyway, I'm just mentioning it because I feel like this is gonna sell out. I feel like and I'm sure they'll press more at some point, but I think that initial pressing, I think it said 300 copies. I feel like that's gonna probably sell out. But what do I know? Anyway, Modotti, album is called Opaque.